'Tis your will, my master.
Hey, what's up, Ryan? Quick demo video for you for your KY Sabers Jedi Killer. I mostly got this done last night, but then you had sent me some fonts late last night, and I loaded them up on here this morning. You've got 6 of them. They're all on here. There's a copy of your config file on your Proffie board. This is installed with Proffie. So in case you want to make some changes or add on, you can do that. You've got a dual crystal chamber here. So the first crystal up here is one that KY puts in. So that stayed in there. And then the mesh, I did change out the mesh in here because it didn't quite fit the piece that came with it. And then I added a secondary quartz crystal that's behind that mesh that you'll be able to see that light up here in a second. All right, and these are both wired independently from each other, and they're wired independently from your main blade. And you've got stock V3 MPXLs in there for your main PCB. You mentioned in the notes that you sent with the saber that there was some loose stuff on this guy, and that's pretty typical, you know, here and there. So what I do is I go through on each of these. I take some of the screws out and I shave them down a little bit, or I tighten other ones up and get some of the wires out of the path so that I could put a chassis in here. And then I do the same thing over here for some of these wire clips and various screws that are in the handle. Shave all those down so this could slide over the chassis easy enough. You were missing a screw for the handle, so I put this button head in here. It's a black button head, so it matches the saber. That's what holds your handle on. So to get to everything, you're going to want to take that out, right? You just need an Allen key. It's a short guy, so make sure you don't lose it. It's only about that long, right? That's all you need. But once you take that out of here, you can take the handle and pull it right out just like that. And then here's your chassis, right? So you've got a removable battery set up. So spring side over here for your negative side of your battery. Your Proffie board's right here. So it's just a tight snap fit down into this shelf like I like to do. You've got easy access to your micro USB slot, but you will need to lift it up to get to your SD card if you wanted to. So I generally tell people you don't have to pop the board all the way out of the shelf. Just kind of pop it up diagonally like that. Do what you need to do to the SD card and then snap it back down into place. That's the best practice, or it's at least what I do. And then you've got a 28mm Smugglers Outpost Elite speaker in the back, and then there's a Smugglers Outpost emblem right here because I am a member of Smugglers Outpost too. 2-button setup. So your front switch over here, that's going to be your activation, and then your back switch over here, that's your auxiliary switch. And we will go ahead and throw a battery in this guy and slap the handle on it. And then I'll show you what the crystals are doing. So when you're putting the handle on, you just want to line up that wire on the handle with the wire right here on the saber. And then when you do that, the hole for the screw that holds the handle on will line up automatically for you. Couple turns and it tightens right down. So you crank down on that guy, it's good to go. Everything's solid. You can see I've got your crystals doing a little something different when the saber's off. So you got motion controls, right? This thing is super loud. You can twist off, and then that's what they're doing when the saber's off. This is going to be your blade retention, this screw that's closest to the tip of the emitter. And I'm not going to use an Allen key for this demo. I'm just going to use my fingers to tighten the blade up. But this does take a 1-inch diameter neopixel blade. So I'll throw this in here real quick. I'll lock it down with my fingers. If you didn't want to use the motion controls, which is swing on, right, and twist off, you could just use activation. This is the Ignition Redux sound font, so it's got that staggered blade ignition. And then you could just, you know, tap auxiliary for blaster deflex. Go flash on flash. Tap your button again, your power button to turn it off. Just like that. This thing is screaming loud. To get to your soundtracks on each font, what you want to do is hold down your power for 1 second and let go. And do the same thing to turn it off. This particular sound font didn't come with a soundtrack, so I gave it the same music track as your Secret Apprentice font that I've got on here for you as well. To trade or to go to the next sound font, you just hit auxiliary when the saber's off. Blade lock up.
Tragedy of Darth Plagueis Alliance. The Dark Rays.
Each of the sound fonts you gave me is basically a dark side font, and this is a dark saber. So they have variations of either just a red blade or different unstable red blades that may not be picking up very well on camera, but each of them are a little bit different.
Darth Vader.
Secret Apprentice, I think. Or the Chosen One. And I think we're back to the beginning. Just like that. We'll take the blade out. So yeah, everything on this saber is working like it should. The blade retention will be a lot better for you if you use an actual Allen key. My hand cranking on this guy held the blade in good for a demo, but not for swinging. So you'll want to use an Allen key when you're tightening up this for a blade. Just don't break your blade, you know, just tighten it down firm. And then to take the battery out is super simple. We'll just want to take the handle back off. So we'll undo that screw, slide the handle off, and then from the positive side of the battery, which is over here by your speaker, you can come over here and pop this guy out with your finger just like that. And that is pretty much your KY Sabers Jedi Killer. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will try to get this out in the mail to you today. All right, thanks.